Well, he was termed out of the California Assembly. Now he's one of 3 Republicans battling it out for the nomination to try and unseat California Senator Barbara Boxer. If nominated, the latest polls show a neck-and-neck battle with the longtime Democratic senator.
Joining us now is a member of California State Assembly from the 70th District, Republican Chuck DeVore. Good morning, Chuck. Thanks for coming on with us at KFBK.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show.
So this is your moment to put out your message and tell us why you would make a great senator for the great state.
Well, I believe in the Constitution, the entire Constitution as originally intended by the founders and as legally amended since then. I believe that we are growing our government with debt, much of it borrowed from China, that will crush our children and grandchildren under a mountain of obligations they can't possibly repay. And I believe that we need to amend the Endangered Species Act so that perhaps people matter as much as fish. And certainly in this case, Barbara Boxer has been on the wrong side, standing with fish who can't vote. At least not yet. I know Acorn's trying to sign them up, but I don't think they can vote yet. So I think those are issues that resonate with Californians right now. That's what I hear as I travel around the state. I've had some close to 340 events since I declared for office, just diligently working and communicating with the people of the state of California, and that's what I hear that's on their minds as I travel around the state.
Chuck, the polls have good news and bad news for you. The good news is they show that if you did get the nomination, you would be running very close with Barbara Boxer. The bad news is you are running third in the quest to get that nomination.
Yeah, I'm not too terribly concerned about that because we still got a couple of weeks before the ballots actually get mailed out, and as voters begin to focus and they realize that Tom Campbell is not, in fact, Tom McClintock, there seems to be a fair amount of confusion. People think he's actually conservative, and they don't know that he's in favor of abortion, and they don't know that he's in favor of same-sex marriage, and they don't know that he backed the largest tax increases in U.S. history at the state level last year while he was running for governor. And when they find out those things, they tend to fall off of Tom Campbell, who's been in first since he jumped from the governor's race into the Senate race in January. And they tend to come to me because I'm perceived as the conservative, certainly the proven conservative in the race. And further, if you look at the similarities in my opponents, Carly Fiorina and Tom Campbell, what you'll see is Carly Fiorina, Tom Campbell, and Barbara Boxer supported the confirmation of Sonia Sotomayor to the U.S. Supreme Court. I never did because I believe that she placed a higher emphasis on empathy than on rule of law and following the Constitution. You'll see that Barbara Boxer, Tom Campbell, and Carly Fiorina all backed carbon taxes or AB 32 or cap and trade at one time. Carly, while she was chief economic advisor to John McCain, and John McCain had his own cap and trade light, and as recently as November when she was on the Neil Cavuto show and was praising John Kerry's cap and trade legislation.
Well, it is clear that you are a conservative. As a matter of fact, you've been called a Tea Party conservative. Do you think that is going to benefit you as much in November as it seems to right now?
There's a lot of passion out there. Yes, I do. What I've discovered as I've been going around to the various Tea Party and allied groups is I ask a question: how many of you have been active in politics ever before this year? And in most of the groups, 10%, maybe at most 30% of the people raised their hands, indicating any degree of political involvement prior to this year. So what's happened is that the President Obama's lurch to the left, aided by Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid and Barbara Boxer, has motivated and brought out a lot of people who have been sitting on the sidelines in the past. And I think these individuals, you saw their potential out in Massachusetts when Scott Brown won this very unlikely victory in January, and a lot of my volunteers, by the way, made some phone calls for Scott Brown from 3,000 miles away here in California. So I think there's that potential, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm running in the most recent poll only 3 percentage points behind Barbara Boxer. In fact, Barbara Boxer herself acknowledged this about 10 days ago at the Democrat convention in California when she exhorted the Democrats there to have a bit of the energy and the passion of the Tea Party.
All right, we have to move along, Chuck, but thank you very much for joining us. We wish you good luck, and if you get the nomination, please come back and talk to us.
Yeah, ChuckDeVore.com.
All right, thanks.